also that came out with its earnings. And if you look at the fine print, earnings fine print, you're seeing a sequential drop in their revenue. The margins have also been hit in the quarter gone by. This is on back also of the lower contribution coming in from COVID-19 business. And the bottom lines were impacted due to seasonality. But where is Thyrocare headed from here on? How's the business plan looking like? What are their other plans? Let's get on board the management of Thyrocare. We have Mr. Rahul Guha, who is the MD and CEO at Thyrocare Technologies. A very good afternoon to you, Rahul. Thank you so much for joining us on ET now. And let me talk about margins, because if you look at your margin figure, they continue to contract. And when I talk about it, it's on a year-on-year basis. It's fallen below the 30% mark. Even gross margins, if you look at it, they've slightly dipped on a sequential basis as well. If you tell us what exactly is impacting your markets, what are the steps that has been taken by you to mitigate this impact going ahead, and would price hikes also be a part of it?
Sure. Look, firstly, if you look at year on year, our non-COVID businesses recovered very strongly. We grew 20% year on year in our non-COVID business. And of course, we only grew 9% year on year overall, and that was because of COVID coming out of the base. Some of that is reflected in our margin profile as well. And that's the effect that you see there. But going forward, as COVID is out of the base, with this 20% non-COVID revenue, performance in the last quarter, I'm quite bullish about, the next few quarters as we see clean quarters where COVID is not in the base.
Point taken, but you were also talking about that you managed to take some price hikes in the recent quarter, and you are not looking at taking any more price hikes. So fair to assume that margins will be around this 30% mark going forward?
Yes, that's what I've been guiding in all our investor calls also, that margin will be in that, 30% ballpark. As I said, in the last quarter, given that we have a lot of dollar exposure on our raw material, we saw some price hikes from our vendors, but we were able to pass them through into the market to maintain the price, the margin.
Point taken, Rahul, but then there are some reports also doing rounds which suggest that PharmEasy might be looking at selling some stake in Thyrocare. Could you clarify that for us? Is that something on the cards?
So at this point, at least at Thyrocare, we are not aware of any such discussions, nor have we been approached by anyone, evaluating this seriously. So at this point, it's, I would say, at least I'm not aware of any such discussions taking place.
Rahul, thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate your time today. A very short conversation because of the paucity of time, but thank you for joining.